Hey everyone,
This is Josh.
and I'm Mike, and this is
Must see before you die. And
all
today
right.
we're going to be talking about The Silence of the Lambs. Mike, I was always confused of this name. I'm like, why do they call it that? But it does make sense after you watch it. It is
Yep,
rated. It is rated R for a good reason, no doubt. Came out in 1991. Mike, man, I was 8 years old, so I definitely didn't watch this till much later in life.
I
You
was
were
20.
20? Okay, yeah. Did you see this in the theater, Mike?
I don't think I did. I can't be honest with you. I can't really remember, but I've seen it so many. This is one of the few horror movies that I've seen a lot. I mean, I watch it 4, 5, 6 times a year.
Well, I think I watched this movie for the first time probably 2 or 3 years ago, Mike.
Oh wow,
Yep. So this is only the second time I've seen this movie. Second time.
wow.
It go ahead and just throw this Rotten Tomato score up, Mike.
Yeah, let me show this. I mean, it's bam. I mean, look at that.
It puts the lotion on the skin.
Yeah, it's 95, 95. So right off the bat, incredible acting.
Yeah.
I can't remember the guy's name, Glenn something in real life, played Buffalo Bill.
Yes.
Jodie Foster, Anthony Hopkins.
Clarice Starling is Jodie Foster.
Yeah.
Hannibal Lecter is you know, can't think of his real name right now. What was it?
What now?
Oh, Anthony Hopkins is Hannibal Lecter, and then like there's another kind of main character. It's Jack, and that's like Clarice's boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like kind of, but there's not like a ton of main characters in this. I would say those are like the main characters that you see the most in this movie.
Yep.
But yeah, this is a crazily high rated movie, 95, and deservedly so. It is an excellent movie.
So let's give everybody, if you haven't seen this, because like, hey, there's going to be definitely spoiler alerts here ahead of time. So if you haven't seen it, watch the movie, then come back and watch this. Because Josh said, he only saw it 2 or 3 years ago, so there may be a young audience that checks this out and has never seen it since it was 1991. Because I used to think old movies, I ain't watching it, but this is one you definitely got to watch. Jodie Foster stars as Clarice Starling, a top student at the FBI's training academy. Jack Crawford, who is Scott Glenn, wants Clarice to interview Dr. Hannibal Lecter, Anthony Hopkins, who is outstanding in this movie.
Yes.
A brilliant psychiatrist who is also a violent psychopath serving life behind bars for various acts of murder and cannibalism. He eats people.
Yep.
Crawford believes that Lecter may have insight into a case that Starling, as an attractive young woman, may be just the bait to draw him out.
Yeah, I thought they leaned on that a little bit. There's lots of tones of sexism in this movie, Mike, and like basically like a bunch of men she meets are just like wanting to just get with her like right away, like because she's an attractive like woman in this field, they think they can just get her in the bed. Like, come on now, she didn't want nothing to do
it's all.
with
I mean, you got to think too. The FBI was dominantly male.
right.
She's a female. Her and there's another girl there that's her best friend, I think, in the movie.
Yeah.
But those were the only two girls you really saw. All the other ones were guys going through the FBI academy.
So, so the likes of this movie are Anthony Hopkins is phenomenal. He actually is he's actually a bigger part of this movie than the killer Buffalo Bill, Mike.
Yeah.
He is. And it turns out he ended up meeting Buffalo Bill at some point in time when he was a psychiatrist. He actually had another guy he was a patient of his that was in a relationship with Buffalo Bill at the time. And he kind of confided to Hannibal Lecter, like, I'm scared of this guy. He's kind of really mentally off and blah, blah, blah. And then Hannibal Lecter didn't see the guy again until he was dead. So, and they end up finding out because Clarice finds like his head in a jar, the guy that was with Buffalo Bill in a relationship at one point in time. But I really like this because how in-depth this movie is. I mean, there's a lot to go with this movie. Hannibal Lecter really ends up taking a really big liking to Clarice in this movie. And yeah, it's really cool. And I love the way it ends. Where you don't know, or that I love that Hannibal Lecter is just free out roaming the world, man, and it's pretty cool. And I really do enjoy the Buffalo Bill character. He's like, his mission is to like have these women and like starve them for 3 days and get their skin good with lotion and stuff, and then like cut stuff out of their skin and make like a suit out of women's skin so he could be a woman, right? Isn't that what
Yeah.
it was, or something?
There's some. I mean, there's not much I dislike about this movie, and I'm gonna tell you my likes. I mean, I like, again, the acting is incredible. Jodie Foster's young, but you can tell she's talented.
Very.
Anthony Hopkins is, I mean, just a, he's an Academy Award winner. I mean, he's so
Yeah,
great.
he's incredible.
The scene with him and her at the very beginning when she goes and sees him and he's locked up, and the other ones, and it's really gross. But then, you know, I had to explain what got thrown in her hair to my son. That was not I had to tell him to cover his eyes quite a bit in this movie.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's just so great, and that relationship that builds between her, Clarice, and Hannibal Lecter throughout the movie is great. Even though they lie to him, and they try to sucker him. I remember seeing this the very first time, and it really shocked me when he had cut the face off the other person.
that was crazy.
On himself, and they thought he was the cop that was dying. He had skinned the face off the other person and stuck it on himself. I mean, so many good parts of this movie.
I like the part that I think is really. I like the part where, so Buffalo Bill has this house, and I don't know what if he just took it over from somebody, and like, you know, but he has this house that has like a whole nother area in the basement. It has like a well. That's where he puts his victims, and they can't get out. And he like lowers stuff down. He has this dog, and but yeah, I mean, it's got different rooms in it, and he has one room that has all of his dresses so he can put them on, or like outfits. And there's like a really memorable part in where he's like putting on lipstick or something, and he's like, I have it right there. I'd F me. I put, but he's like, I fuck me.
Yeah, and he's videoing himself. You know, he's like trying to be all sexy,
and you can tell he has like he has like a wig on, but it's got like the skin from like from one of his victims or something. And like, he's going to put like this skin over his skin. I mean, the guy's crazy, and it's pretty sick, but it's a memorable part, and it's got a good tune in it. I think it's called Goodbye Horses, and it's got kind of a weird, funky sound to it. And it just makes it memorable. And he's like this. He's like, so it's just memorable. And
this is like, also a scene where I had to make sure I told my son to not watch this. When he pulls things back so he looks like a female, and you see a full frontal nude picture of him, and he looks like a female because he's tucked things back where you can't see.
Well, that doesn't show anything, Mike, though, really. I mean,
it shows hair. I mean, it shows what it would be for a female. I mean, it shows almost the same thing.
Sure. But yeah, I like that. Oh, I want to talk about this guy, Frederick, who runs this jail. This guy's a total prick, man. I mean, this guy, and it seems like by the ending, he's going to get what he deserved, in my opinion. He totally undermined Clarice and wanted to take all the credit for himself and all this. He's another character, but he just looks like he had a really punchable face, Mike, that guy. But yeah, I mean, what else can we say about this movie? To me, there's nothing bad in this movie. Let's talk about the dislikes.
There had to be some dislikes. There's something you disliked about it?
No. No.
I personally thought it was just a tad, maybe 10, 15 minutes. I thought they could have shaved off of it.
Where?
It was a long movie. It was an hour and 59 minutes. I thought.
Where do you think they could have shaved? I don't think they could. Where would they have shaved, Mike?
I mean, I just thought there was a little bit. You know, I guess maybe some of the stories, like being at the funeral and They did do an autopsy there that was really important because that's where they found the
Well,
moth.
the funeral was kind of giving you a backstory on her and her
Right.
hang-ups. And,
Yeah.
and Hannibal Lecter gets into that with her. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was necessary, honestly.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think, I know it's a 2-hour long movie, but
This is my number one dislike though. The way Bill gets killed at the end, I thought was just quick and sudden. I mean, I would like to seen a little more of a chase, like she's going through the house looking for him. And then I thought it is really creepy. He had on the night vision on, and he was about to touch her a few times. But then, like, all of a sudden, I mean, he didn't have it cocked back. So as soon as he got ready to cock it back, she whips around and kills him, shoots him, and it's just over. I would like to see a little bit more of a chase or a hand-to-hand combat, and then she kills him somehow. I don't know, but
sure, I get that. That was a creepy scene though, Mike, where she had no lights and he could see her. So, but I was reading up, and they said they based Buffalo Bill on 3 serial killers, Mike.
Yeah.
They based him on Ed Gein, who back in the 1930s, when everything was so pure and innocent.
Original Leatherface, right?
We didn't have all these weirdos. Actually, you had one of the weirdest ones of all time back then, guys. So
that's Leatherface.
Yeah, Ed Gein. So, I mean, he would skin people and make like lampshades and do things with their bones and stuff. And then you had Ted Bundy, who would use a cast to lure women towards him or something. So they used that in the beginning of the movie. And then I can't remember the other killer, but it was a guy that put people in a well pit like that. Wow. Can't remember what his name was. But yeah, so they kind of based it off 3 different killers. Buffalo Bill. And I was thinking, I was like, well, why is his name Buffalo Bill at the beginning before they explained it? But they, it's because you skinned buffalo and whatever. Right. So, but yeah, I enjoyed this movie. I didn't really have any complaints, Mike.
Hey, real quick before I know we're 12 minutes into this, but real quick, give the story on the name of the title, Silence of the Lambs, because I think you had even said behind the scenes you didn't know why they called it that, but
it's because like when she was young, she went into got woken up because she was hearing screaming, and so she went into this. She had to move.
She's living on a farm.
She had to move with her uncle or some crap. I don't remember who it was.
Her dad had died.
Right. So she went to like her relatives, other relatives, uncle, aunt, or something, and she looked into the door. She didn't want to, but she looked into the barn. And they were like slaughtering these lambs, and they were like screaming. She said, "Like sound like a person."
Yeah.
And she tried to save one of them, and like Hannibal Lecter was talking to her, saying, "All these screaming lambs." I think he said, "Were they like did they silence or something?" And I think that's must have where they got the tag from. Also, I remember as a kid being kind of creeped out by the poster. Like a real young kid, because it's like a woman's face and then like a butterfly right here where her mouth is, or a moth. And I understand that now. Even though I watched it a little while ago, I kind of forgot.
It's the dead face butterfly, right?
Yeah, Buffalo is a moth, like some kind of an Asian moth. Yeah. And Buffalo Bill grew these at his house, and he would put a cocoon of one in the mouth of his victims, and they knew it was like a rare. It was like a rare thing that like you just wouldn't see here. So that was one of the things that helped them find out who it was too, or whatever. But yeah, I don't know.
I like at the end how they went. The FBI was going to go ransack this place, and it was the wrong place. And then Clarice is the one that had to do it.
I love how they set that up where the guy's ringing the doorbell and then his is ringing at his house, and you think it's the same house, but it's not. I do love how they do that, Mike.
Yeah.
Very well done. Like I said, this is an excellent movie that I don't watch enough, honestly. I've only seen it twice, and I don't watch it enough.
So what's your favorite kills?
Well, I mean, I guess maybe when Anthony Hopkins bites that guard in the nose and then skins his face off. That probably has to be the best. And I do love the part at the end where he calls Clarice, and he's like, "Don't worry, I'm not going to come after you. You're like, the world's better with you in it." And he goes, "Also, I'm going to be having an old friend for dinner." And then he hung up. And that's when he's going to go after that Frederick guy and eat him, apparently. So that was cool. I love that. But I would say when Hannibal Lecter killed that, but like for me, like the Hannibal Lecter character overshadowed Buffalo Bill like totally. People were
Yeah,
just
that's why
so enthralled
they
with
had
that.
several of them, including Hannibal Lecter itself. Hannibal.
Right, I've never seen any of the sequels, Mike. I told Michelle I would like to watch them, like Hannibal and then Red Dragon. I think are the sequels.
Yeah.
I would like to check those out. But yeah, definitely awesome. Check it out, Mike. What's your favorite like kill in the movie? Same as
Well,
mine.
they didn't even show it, but one of my favorite parts of the movie is Hannibal Lecter talking about how he killed somebody and he ate them with fava beans. You know, he ate their kidney, and he was just telling the story of it. And I was like, they didn't even show it at all, but just him putting that in my my mind that he did that. I was like, whoa, that's.
I have that written down where he says, "I ate her liver with fava beans and a nice bottle of Chianti."
Yeah,
that. I know that from watching Dumber and Dumber growing up because they say that in the movie, and then he goes or whatever. And in Dumb and Dumber, they do that. So, like, I knew it was from Silence of the Lambs, but originally I saw it on Dumb and Dumber growing up, not Silence of the Lambs. So, but yeah, I thought it was good, Mike. Anything else you want to say about it?
No, I think we need to go to the ratings, and I don't know what are we going to do on this one.
A rating 5 out of 5, plain and simple. 5 out of 5. Wait, 5 out of 5 livers and a nice bottle of Chianti with fava beans, Mike.
I want to give it a 5. It's one of my favorite movies. I'm gonna give it a 4.75.
Mike,
I think it's just a tad too long. I don't know, just a tad.
okay.
I think it's a great movie. That's why I watch it 4, 5, 6 times a year.
Yeah.
Usually every couple of months, me and my son will watch it.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's an excellent movie. Hey, what do you guys think? Have you seen it before? Thumbs up, thumbs down. What's your favorite about it? Please like, comment, and subscribe to Must See Before You Die.
That's right.
Josh, tell them how they can find us on Facebook.
Hey, they can find us on Facebook over at Must See Before You Die Horror Community. Come check us out there. And yeah, I really do like this movie. It's great. Check it out for yourself if you haven't seen it.
All right, bye, Josh. Have a good one.
See ya.
Damn.